Good morning, fellow adventurers. I've gone down an absolutely massive rabbit hole on the whole YouTube earnings, split revenue share thing last night, this morning, following some really interesting questions from some of you guys on my latest video about Spotify versus YouTube. Some of the points were super good and highly practical. Some of them were a little bit like jaded, angry people, but a lot of them were really useful. And it's led me down to learn something that I didn't know, which I'm going to share with you. A couple of points. Firstly, it's really hit home how much YouTubers are effectively just selling advertising space. And I suppose it doesn't sit right or feel very nice, but it's the hard, cold fact is that anyone that uploads a YouTube video and aspires to make revenue from it is selling advertising space. And why is that relevant? Well, I'll get to that in a second, but it's really interesting. And I think maybe we can find a way of kind of semi-hacking that. Anyway, someone was trying to math the math from my calculations, but to make the video not half an hour long, I had omitted a couple of points that probably would have been quite important to know, which is that there's a massive difference between revenue from pre-roll advertising and mid-roll advertising. And then there is an even bigger difference in the demographic of your viewer. What I mean by that is if you had a YouTube channel focused in a genre where advertisers tend to spend more money. So for example, perfume, actually huge. Fashion, sneakers, we call them trainers in England. Cars, finance. People are spending billions on advertising in those sectors, whereas guitar lessons and music, not a lot of people are spending money in those sectors to bring in revenue. I thought that's so interesting because I wonder if there's a way of kind of manipulating that through tags, descriptions, and titles so that the algorithmical machine sends it to people within those sectors and then you get higher ad revenue. I don't know, but I'm going to experiment and I'm going to report back to you because I think it's very interesting. I knew of a guy who had a YouTube channel that just talked about holidays. He got roughly a quarter of the views that I did and made more revenue than me. So I think it speaks volumes. The genre that you are in makes a big difference. So someone else pointed out that you can't even get money from YouTube until you've got a certain number of subscribers, a certain number of views, and that's the same. Spotify has done the same thing with this 1,000 plays situation. I think all the platforms are trying to combat each other and therefore compete financially. But what I didn't know, this is cool, is that when you upload to, man, I need coffee. Sorry, it's super early here. Sorry for the rough and ready video, but I just kind of got fired up. When you upload to DistroKid, and this may be the same of other similar hosting platforms, they have something called YouTube Content ID, this thing here, where for a $5 and 20% of your YouTube ad revenue from matches we detect get notified and earn money. So effectively, they will collect revenue from your music video. That's interesting. But what this needs is a much longer study. I tried to do this as a single study with one track, and I'm realizing there are so many variables, it's so vast, it's not really possible. I need to do this over a year and then kind of look back and go into the back end of the revenue from DistroKid and see what is collected from YouTube, what is collected from Spotify, what is collected from the other platforms like iTunes, and then on an Excel sheet, math it all out and then kind of see what's the best path of action. And it's super confusing. And I wish that I knew somebody who could just go, oh yeah, it's this, and then therefore do that. make a metal song about sneakers or about high fashion or about finance, and then you'll get better ad rates and then ultimately higher revenue. So yeah, I'm going to release my music on everything, but really try and funnel it through the YouTube content. And then I'm going to break it all down at the end of the year and see if I can work out the salient points to kind of report back to anyone who's even interested in this topic. I know this isn't something that's going to get me lots of views and ad revenue. I just kind of think there's got to be a better way, man. There's got to be a better way than just doing streams for 0.002 cents. I mean, if you round it up, it's zero. That's not, when I first started releasing music, it was, you'd sold someone an audio tape or a CD. I know I sound old, but when you calculate how many streams you need to equal the sale of one compact disc back in the day, it's like crazy. So I don't know. Anyway, just all of these points, super interested in your opinions. As an artist releasing music every single month, I want to make sure that lots of people see it, but that also the revenue it generates is anything, otherwise you may as well just give it out for free, which also is kind of an interesting point. I wonder if that's another thing that could be done. Just give it for free or give it for a donation. I don't know. Another rabbit hole. For anyone or some of the people who were sort of saying, oh, this isn't true, YouTube doesn't pay that much, I can categorically state that on a super average 500,000 views on my YouTube channel, I make like 3.5k sterling. So maths, it works out. But yeah, if I had a holiday YouTube channel or a finance YouTube channel, it'd be a lot more. Wait, there's one more thing. I'm releasing music on the 18th of every month. And this month, I'm actually releasing 2 tunes. So the first one was Born Loud, but then the other one is the last Clockwork Wolf and Company tune that we're ever going to release. And I'll talk about why in a video coming up soon. And it's a live version of One Thing I Feared. So Born Loud should be live any day now. And then the live version of Clockwork Wolf's One Thing I Feared will be live on all platforms on the 18th. And you know what? I haven't even made a video for it, which is really stupid. I need to sort that out. Actually, do me a favour. This is something that in every band or project I have ever been in, but it's always been something that we've talked about and no one seems to have the answer. It's music videos. Do you prefer this? We're going to have to poll this, and it'd be really, really helpful if you actually just do this for me. It would answer so many questions in all the projects I'm in. Do you prefer a performance music video? So one where we're just playing through the track, performing the track in an interesting place or maybe multiple locations, just a straight ahead performance music video? If so, could you just in the comment section write performance and then anything else that you wanted to say? Or do you prefer a narrative music video where there's a story, maybe characters, maybe the band appears from time to time, but you don't have to look at my face quite so much. I get bored of looking at my face. Or do you prefer a playthrough where it's split screen normally, and then people just sat down or stood playing through the track? Those are the 3 kinds of music video that normally in all of the things that I do, we sit around with the coffee and we go, we don't know what to do. I mean, I must have shot 50 music videos by now, and I never really can find out what it is that hits the mark or what it is that people wanted. I get a lot of feedback on videos saying, oh, this was cheesy, or this was, really grey, but I can't quite seem to find an even road that tells me which kind of video is best for a tune. I mean, maybe it's dependent on the tune, but if you could just let me know, it would be really helpful. And then I'll just use that information and make better music videos. So yeah, performance, playthrough, or narrative. Cheers, guys. Much appreciate all of your help and feedback. Have an amazing day. Please like and subscribe and appease the almighty algorithm AI.